Apes, together, strong. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Okay, so Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is the sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and these titles are really hard to say. It's set 10 years later. The human race has had a rough decade. They've spent 4 years fighting the virus, 4 years fighting each other, and there's 2 years of peacetime in between there. The apes have set up their colony, life's going pretty well for them, but then they run across some humans, because the human reservation has to get to this power source that's in ape territory so that they can power their base. And from there, I was just like, okay, so the movie's like Avatar, but with apes. But it wasn't like that. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is one of my favorite movies of this year. Everyone's praising the Apes performances. I don't know what I can say that hasn't already been said about Andy Serkis and Toby Kebbell, but both of them just kill it in their roles in these movies. Behind the apes' faces, you can tell there is emotion there. It's not just a CGI character thing. There's someone acting all of these emotions out, and you can really tell it pays off in their facial expressions. The main human in this movie, he did a really good job too. I didn't really know what to expect from him. I was kind of just thinking, okay, yeah, he's gonna be there, but really the movie's gonna focus on Caesar. And the movie does focus on Caesar and the apes, but it also spends a fair amount of time talking about the humans. I thought I was gonna walk out of this movie going, oh yeah, this guy was serviceable, you know, Sam Worthington could have played this guy a couple years ago. But he was actually a legitimately good actor, and he did a great job in this movie. I didn't know what Gary Oldman's role was in this movie. I just knew he was one of the humans in the movie. But he does great as well. There's a scene in this movie where you really understand where he and really all the humans are coming from. And in that scene, I was watching it and I was just like, oh man, no, stop. Yeah, it was like that, and it was good. The action in this movie was insane. There's like apes riding on horses with machine guns. The scenery in this movie was great too. In both the ape and human camps, you walk around, you're seeing these remains of old human civilization. You know, you got like moss and leaves growing on all of it. It reminded me of The Last of Us. And I will say, this movie is like The Last of Us with apes and machine guns. One of my favorite things about The Last of Us was that in the story, you couldn't really tell who was good, who was bad. There was no clear-cut hero and villain. Well, I mean, Joel was the hero, but Joel did some pretty nasty things to survive in that game. In this movie, yeah, people do some bad things, but it's completely justified from their position. Yeah, you're rooting for Caesar in this movie, but at the same time, there's so many other characters that are just in such morally gray areas that it made for some really interesting situations. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is bigger and better than Rise of the Planet of the Apes was, and I really liked Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I'm gonna give Dawn of the Planet of the Apes an A. It's one of my favorite movies to come out this year. I have no idea where they're gonna go for a sequel for this movie, but I want to see a sequel. As long as they have talented people making these movies, I'm okay. You can make Dawn of the Planet of the Apes 2, or Apes 3, Apes 4, Apes 5. As long as they're good, I will watch them. And so, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Have you guys seen it? What did you guys think about it? Comment down below with your thoughts, and thanks for watching this video. If you guys like it, you can click here to see more.